Good day, Kavibal, and welcome to our YouTube webinar session. For the discussion today, the topic will be on improving technology skills using Microsoft Teams. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. Make sure you are registered to the webinar to have your e-certificate of participation. Visit certificate.vibalgroup.com or your eTuro account to generate your proof of attendance. Share the video using hashtag LearnAs1PH as our official hashtag to all our Vibal webinars. Experience learning the Vibal. And now, to proceed with our webinar this afternoon, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speaker today. Miss Vanya Mercy N. Durante is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Technology and Livelihood Education with an MA in SPED stream in Gifted and Talented Education at the University of the Southeastern Philippines and currently taking up her doctorate degree at the same university. She has been involved in teaching for almost 11 years and still passionately works on her craft. A Microsoft Education Ambassador and Google Certified Educator. As part of her role, she passionately shares and conducts pieces of training for her fellow educators for almost 4 years now. She was also an awardee of Best in Research Presentation during the International Symposium of Special Education at Suwon Dusit University, Bangkok, Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Miss Vanya Mercy M. Ney.
Good day, everyone. I am Vanya Mercy Andorante, a DepEd teacher and a Microsoft Education Ambassador. Today, I'll be sharing with you some Microsoft productivity tools, and I'll be explaining also the steps on how to use Microsoft Teams effectively when it comes to online teaching. Before we proceed to the discussion proper, I would like to present to you the learning outcomes. First, familiarize the common Microsoft productivity tools and its usage. Second, understand the steps on how to use Microsoft Teams effectively. And third, appreciate the value of learning new technology skills. This time, we will be familiarizing the most common Microsoft productivity tools that educators use when it comes to online teaching. First, we have the Microsoft PowerPoint. It is a powerful, easy-to-use presentation graphics software program that allows you to create professional-looking electronic slideshows. Second is the Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel features the ability to perform basic calculations, use graphing tools, create pivot tables, and create macros, among other useful features. Next is the Microsoft OneNote. MS OneNote is a digital notebook that automatically saves and syncs your notes as you work. Type information in your notebook or insert it from other apps and web pages. Take handwritten notes or draw your ideas. Use highlighting and tags for easy follow-up. Share notebooks to collaborate with others. Next in line is the MS Forms. With Microsoft Forms, you can create surveys, quizzes, and polls. Invite others to respond to it using almost any web browser or mobile device. See real-time results as they're submitted. Use built-in analytics to evaluate responses, and export results to Excel for additional analysis or grading. And lastly is the MS Way. Sway is a new app from Microsoft Office that makes it easy to create and share interactive reports, personal stories, presentations, and more. Start by adding your own text and pictures. search for and import relevant content from other sources, and then watch Sway do the rest. Good day, everyone. I am Vanya Mercy Nestorante, a deputy teacher and a Microsoft Education Ambassador. Today, I'll be sharing with you some Microsoft productivity tools, and I'll be explaining later on the steps on how to use Microsoft Teams effectively, of course, in online teaching. David Warlick said, "We need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand, because it is the pen and paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience much of our world." My topic for today is all about improving technology skills using Microsoft Teams. Once again, I am your speaker, Fanny Mercy N. Durante. You'll be asking, what is Microsoft Office Productivity Tools? Now, these Office Productivity Tools are applications that allow for the viewing, creating, and modifying of general Office documents, such as spreadsheets, memos, presentations, letters, personal database, form generation, or even image editing, and more. Now, Office productivity tools also include applications for managing employee tasks. Now, as you can see here on the screen, these are the common tools or the common productivity tools in Microsoft that most educators are using, such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, Publisher, and Access. Okay, so there are some things to remember and of course for us to know, like free productivity apps and tools from Microsoft 365 are available. You can avail it for free. And use free versions of Microsoft productivity apps including Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, Forms, and OneDrive. And you can simply create a free Microsoft account, or all you only need to do is to sign in with an existing one, and you can go on and you can use all those available Microsoft productivity tools for free. All right, so now let's move on the steps on how teachers can use Microsoft Teams effectively when it comes to online teaching. So the first question here is that how will I connect with my students? Now let us learn first what is the meaning of this Microsoft Teams. Actually, MS Teams is an online classroom where you can chat with your whole class, with students in small groups, or even one-on-one with your students. Through Teams, you can even connect with your co-teachers and classmates through video calls. You will stay connected anytime, anywhere, and will have access to all your class resources as well. Later on, you're going to learn a lot of things on how to use Microsoft Teams creatively. The first thing you have to do is to sign in to your Office 365. For you to do it, you have to go to this website, https://www.office.com. So then you can see this picture. All right. So the second one that you're gonna do is you have to enter your school login credentials. For DepEd teachers, most of us, we already have DepEd accounts or Microsoft accounts. We are provided, so we can use it here. And then after that, select Teams from the 0365 landing page. Now, as soon as you entered this particular part, you have to click next, and then you can see this interface. And then all you need to do is to click this icon, which is the icon for Microsoft Teams. Now, let's proceed. Now, this time, we're gonna create your class team. So this is the first step. Select Teams, here, this one, from the app bar to view your teams. Okay, once you click this one, let's proceed to step 2. You have to select Join or Create Team. So you can see this picture. Now, as soon as you can see this one, let's move on to step 3. Then select Create Team. Okay, you have to click this button. Once you click this create button, you have to proceed for step 4, which is select class as team type. Actually, in Microsoft Teams, we have four types. We have class, the PLC or professional learning community, the staff, and the other. So of course, since we are creating a class team, then we will choose the class. Okay. Now, after choosing the class, the next part that you're gonna do is you're gonna enter the name and description. If you don't like to put or to write description, it's okay because it is optional. For your class team, then select next. So this one, okay, on this part, this is the part where you're gonna write the name. Okay, like for example, you're gonna type here 7th grade science. Here is the description part. This is just optional. And after you type your name, you can click here next. Okay, so now let's move on. Since you already have class team, the next one is for you to enroll students in your class team. Now, how you're gonna do it? There are different ways you can add students to your class team. Okay, so the first one here is the teacher enrolls students. Of course, the teacher will be the one to do it. Second, you can also provide a link to students. Third, you can provide a join code to students. And then you can also do the data syncing or data sync. Now let's discuss it one by one. All right, so how to do this kind of enrolling, no, when teacher enrolls students? Okay, first, you have to navigate, okay, in a while. Okay, so now let us learn how the teacher enrolls students. The first thing you have to do is when you have this team already, just click this ellipsis, and then there will be a box here that will go down, and you have to choose the add member. For step 3, you need to proceed here. Now you can see two tabs for students and teachers. So of course, since you are enrolling students, you have to choose students. Okay, and after choosing students, that is the time when you can be able to write and encode the names of your students. And make sure, of course, that your students have their own Microsoft Outlook account so that you can easily find them and you can easily add them. And after so, you can click add. And now let's learn how to do this kind of providing a link for students. Okay, now the first thing you have to do is still the same. You have your teams here, and then you have to click this ellipsis or the more options, and then choose get link to theme. Okay, once you click this one, this will appear. Okay, you can see a link here, and then what you're gonna do is just select copy, then send the link to your student or colleague. Actually, you can send it through Messenger. If you have group chats with your students, that would be very easy. Okay, now how about this provide a join code to students? Now you can give codes to your students in this way. Okay, first, next, your team name. Okay, this one, still the same. And then click the more options, still the same, or the ellipsis. And then all you need to do is to click manage team. Now, after that one, once you click this one, you can see this interface. All you need to do is to click the settings tab. All right. After clicking the settings tab, you can see this generate button, and then all you need to do is click generate. All right. So after that one, a team code will be produced here. For example, FCAB228. So you can also send this one to your group chats or any way of communicating your students, and then all you need to do is to give this code to them. All right. Okay, so now let's move on in School Data Sync or the SDS. Actually, if your school is using School Data Sync or the SDS, your IT admin can create teams based on your classes or rosters. When you go to the teams icons here, you will see the class teams listed automatically. If a student drops or adds your class, the class team will automatically be updated. Okay? All right, so now let's move on to the next part. We're in how to host a class meeting. Okay, so these are the steps. Now, how are you going to schedule a Teams meeting? Meetings in Teams include audio, video, and screen sharing. This is one of the key ways to communicate with your students. And there are different ways you can schedule a team meeting. First, you send your students a link. Second, you add it to the team calendar. Third, you meet now with your students in a channel. And fourth, you can provide a dial-in number. So now let's learn one by one. Okay, so let's proceed here. You send your students a link. Now, all your students need to join a Teams meeting through a link. It would be very hard for them to join the class if they don't have the link. So one way you can provide your students a meeting link is by sending it to their school email. So it will be very easy since you can send it immediately through all your students. And now let us proceed on how to schedule Teams meeting. All right, so you add it to the team calendar, of course. So on the left rail here, all we need to do is to go to calendar and click it. All right. Once you click this one, you can see this picture. On the top right, click the new meeting. And for the step 3, as soon as you click this new meeting button, you can see this picture of this part. Click details, and this is the part when you can add the details or the title of your Teams meeting. Now, let's proceed in Meet Now with your students. Now, of course, meeting in a channel is a quick way to meet your students. The first thing you have to do is to just let your students know what channel of your team to meet. All right, so look at the left reel of your Microsoft Teams once again. Click this one, and then choose what channel you're gonna meet with your students. Once you have chosen one channel here, then move to the next step, which is you have to click the post. Now, once you click the post, you can see this kind of picture wherein you can see the Meet Now button. In the post area of the team, you will see the option to Meet Now, this one, which will start the meeting. And then the students will click Join to join in the meeting. Okay, now how about this kind of you can provide a dial-in number? Now, if your students or maybe their guardians are unable to use Teams app or Teams on the web, you can provide them with a meeting number so they can join through phone. Now, they can dial the number you provide and use the conference ID provided to access the meeting if available. Now, where you're gonna go, then again, on the left rail of your Microsoft Teams, choose calendar. Click this one. Once you click this one, this will be the picture that you'll be seeing. Okay, you click the name of your class or the scheduled class, and after clicking this one, you can see on the bottom part here the Join Microsoft Teams meeting. Then you can see here a number and as well as the conference ID. So you can give this one to your students. Okay, so we're done on that part. Now let's proceed now on manage your class meeting. How are you gonna manage your class? Okay, so managing your meetings is very important. So how are you gonna do it? We need to manage what control your students have through meeting options. So the first thing you have to do is to open your event on the calendar. Once you click the meeting options, these are the things that you're gonna see. The other one is let people calling in by phone bypass the lobby. You can choose yes or no here. Get notified when callers join or leave. You can choose also here, yes or no. And choose who can present. You can change this during the meeting. Now you can see, you can click here, everyone, or you can customize it here. And after you're doing it, you can click save. Now, how about canceling a team meeting? What you're gonna do? Now, when a meeting is scheduled, the link to the meeting is active until the meeting is canceled. Now, if you have emergency meetings or other reasons for you to cancel, this one is the process that you have to do. First, you have to open your event on the calendar, still on the calendar, and then click cancel meeting. Now, once you open your calendar, see, you have to choose the details. And then here, you can see the button for cancel meeting. Click this one. And automatically, your meeting will be canceled. Now let's discuss here what are the functions for each icon on the meeting on menu bar. Once you're in the interface already, these are the things that you're gonna see. Okay, so what you can do here is that first, you can control others' audio and video. Since you are the controller, you can control everything. Second, you can participate in the chat. Third, you can share their screen. You can also mute participants individually or all at once. You can remove participants. You can promote participants or presenters or students to be presenters. And you can start and stop recordings. Now let's go through with these icons. This one first. This is the video icon. You can turn your video feed on and off. All you're gonna do is click or unclick. Okay. Now this is your microphone icon. What you're gonna do here is you can mute and unmute yourself. Next icon is the share screen button, wherein you can share your screen and sounds from your computer. Next, we have here the high five, or if you're gonna click this one, the students can notify teacher that they have question or something to say. It's like raising their hand to be notified. And then the next icon here is that they can be able to send the chat messages or the chat box. They can also share links there, add file, and more. Resources you share will be available after the meetings as well. It will be recorded actually, since you placed it or you even paste it on the chat box. Next one, this icon shows the participants of the meeting. And this red button is, once you click this one, you can leave the meeting. The meeting will continue even after you leave. Okay, so let's move on now in recording a class meeting. Now, all you're gonna do here is to click these more options or the ellipsis and then choose start recording. And if you want to stop the recording still the same way, you have to go here and then you can see here stop recording. Now, what are the reasons why we need to record our class? Of course, it is a valuable resource for students and parents and help facilitate understanding and retention of the materials presented. They can go back with the video if they weren't able to attend the class, or if they really want to listen again what transpires during the class. Now, when you record a meeting, a searchable transcript and closed captions are automatically created. And when the meeting is over, you'll receive an email with a link to the recording, and the recording will be available in the chat or the channel for 7 days after. Okay, so how are you gonna share the screen? Now look at here, this is the share button as we've discussed a while ago, and then once you click this one, you can see this interface. Now if you have an audio, it is better for you to click this box so that when you share your video or any kind of presentation, your students can hear the audio as well. Now in sharing, you can also share your desktop, your window, the PowerPoint, or this whiteboard. Actually, this whiteboard is a bit interesting since this will allow all meeting participants or the presenters or even the attendees collaborate in real time. If we have blackboards in the classroom, in Microsoft Teams, we have whiteboards. Okay, so it is also important for the teacher to manage students during a meeting. It's like a classroom management as well. Now, on this button, the participants, they can click or you can click here, and then this will be the interface that you can see, the names of your students. If you want to remove this particular student, just click his or her name, ellipsis button, and then choose here. You can mute him or her, you can pin him, you can remove the participants for disciplinary action or make them as an attendee. That is how you manage your student. Now, how you're gonna leave or end a meeting? Now, to remove participants, As what I've said a while ago, all you need to do is to click the name and then click the remove participants. Now, if you want to end the meeting to ensure the meeting links is not longer available for the students to join later, all you need is to click this ellipsis and click the end meeting. So now let's proceed on how to use channel post and chat. Understand channels. Now, channels are dedicated sections within a team to keep conversations organized by specific topics, projects, disciplines, or whatever works for you on your class. Like here on this picture, this is the sample of a channel. Now, channels are places where conversations happen and where the work gets done. Channels can be open to all team members, or if you need more select audience, they can be private. You can make it private or public. Now, standard channels are more conversations that everyone in a team can participate in, and private channels limit communication to a subset of people in a team. Of course, when you set it in public, a lot of students can see it as well. But if you set it in private, you can limit also the communication and discussion within your students. So now let us customize your team channel. So first, when you see this one, all you need to do is to click this more options button or the ellipsis, and then please disregard this box because you have to choose the add channel box, not the add member, add channel box, since we are creating our channel. And then when you choose this one already, the add channel, you can see this one. All right, then you can create your channel name here. All right, after doing so, you can choose here if you want to make it standard or public, accessible to everyone on team, or if you want to make it private, then choose private and then click add. Okay, it will be added here on this line. Okay, so in the channel, we can also encourage student collaboration in channel posts. Now, team posts are similar to social media like Facebook, no? They can post, they can reply also to the post of their classmates. They can mention also their classmates using this icon and then mention the people's name to get their attention. So what's different is that you can share school files and easily discuss projects and ideas while reaching everyone in your class. So this is really nice. This is very healthy for the students to exchange ideas. As a teacher in Microsoft Teams, you can be able to talk with your students one-on-one. Now, through this, using the chat box on the left rail of your Microsoft Teams here, once you click this one, you can click this icon. This is the new chat. And then once you click this one, you can find the name of your student and then click the chat button. Then that's the time you can be able to talk to them personally and privately. You can ask them how's their assignment, if they've already passed, or what is the reason why they did not pass their assignment. Another unique feature here in Microsoft Teams is that you can share with students the Immersive Reader and Translate tool. Now, for example, if you receive a message in another language because you don't understand it, for example, here from Kelly Williams, you click this one ellipsis or the more options button, and all you need to find is you have to click the translate. But if you are tired enough to read and all you need to do is you really want to hear it, you can choose the Immersive Reader. And through this Immersive Reader, it will read and post aloud to you and even translate it as well. So that is the beauty of this Immersive Reader and Translate tool. Okay, so now let's move on to work collaboratively using files. Now, when we say collaboratively, of course, the students can be able to share their work to their classmates and they can be able to work together. Now, let's learn first how to create a tab and team channels. Now, a while ago, you've already learned how to create channels. Now, let's learn now how to add tabs. Now, here on the picture, as you can see, there are a lot of available tabs that you can be able to use in sharing some activities and files. Now, the tabs can be added to your team to provide a resource-rich, immersive environment. Students can share their activities, their projects together, and by doing that, They can be able to use some apps such as Excel, Forms, OneNote, PDF, and more. Now, you can add a document or presentation that people can view or co-edit as a team, a planner for tracking tasks and managing work items, or a secure website that members of the channel can reference easily. Now let's do this. First, you have to navigate to the class team. This one, like for example, this will be your channel, and you'd like to add a tab to, then select the plus. Here, this one, the plus. And then automatically you can see this picture. All the available tabs will be seen here. Now, select the type of tab you would like to add and follow on-screen prompts to add a tab to the channel. So you can choose any of the tabs here, any favorite apps that you want to use. Okay, and then after so, when you are done choosing what type of app that you'll be using, then this time you will click the button Save. Now, let's move on now to collaborate with students. You may ask students to collaborate on assignments. Teams makes it easy to share files and work on them together. As what I've mentioned a while ago, in working, they can be able to use Word, Excel, PowerPoint in creating their files, and they can be able to view, edit, and collaborate with each other while doing it right within the team. Each channel has its own file folder where they can share files for that specific channel. To access that folder, they can be able to go to Channel, and they will select the Files tab above the conversation window. So let us now look at this picture. So for example, the name of their channel is Chapter 5 Mammals. So in the instruction, you will choose Files or Files button, and then you can see this interface. We have New, Upload, Copy Link, Download, Add Cloud Storage, Open in SharePoint. Now, of course, if you have files, then you will just choose Upload. Then automatically your file will be uploaded here. And of course, your teammates or their classmates can be able to see this one also. Then that's the time that they can work collaboratively. All right, so now in a classroom, a teacher usually gives assignment. Now in Microsoft Teams as well, this is possible. This is also possible. The teachers can also create assignments. Okay, so now these are the steps. First, you have to navigate to the general channel. Look at here. Here, this is the general channel, and then choose assignments. The next one, once you click this one, you can see this assignment button, and then click create. Once you click create, this is the time for you to assign or to give your assignment. Okay, these are the details. You can also edit this one anytime. All right, so that is the way on how you're gonna create the assignment. Okay, so another nice thing here in Microsoft Teams is that you can attach a rubric to your assignment. You can create actually your own rubric. Now use the rubric tool in assignments to create customizable, reusable rubrics for students to reference and for your evaluate or for you to evaluate their work. Actually, rubrics are optional. You don't need to really place some, but if you want to, you can do and you can have some. All right, so what we're gonna do here is that from within the assignment, select Add Rubric. This one you're gonna see here. Actually, the first one here, you have to click the Add Rubric button, and then you can see a plus sign, click this one. Now, once you click this one, this will appear wherein you can be able to edit. You can add a title, you can edit some description, and you can customize your points. And after you're done doing it, choosing your point system, then you can click Attach. Okay, so let's talk about the steps on how to customize your own rubric. Now, of course, in making a rubric, you need some rows and columns. So you have to click this copy icon if you want to add more columns, if you want to add more rows. However, if you added more and you want to delete some, all you need to press is this button, the garbage icon, so that you may delete those columns and rows that are not needed anymore. All right. So when you are done and you're finished customizing your rubric, that's the time that you can be able to press this step 2, which is attach. Now let's move on to assign or save. Now, as a teacher, of course, we usually give assignments to our students. Now, we need to ready everything first. And then if you are ready and done preparing it, that's the time you will attach your assignment and click the button assign here. There. All right. So, but always remember that before clicking the assign button, make sure that you already have the title here, your resources if you want to share, and if you want to have some rubric, you can also attach here on this part. Now, if you're all done with this part, that's the time for you to click assign. Now, always remember that when you click the assign button, your students will automatically be notified in Teams. Then they will be prompted, or they will be notified that there is a new assignment that was given. Now, if you would like to save the assignment as a draft for only you to see as a teacher, you don't need to click the button assign, but you only need to click the save button. Okay? I'll just repeat. If you just want to have a draft or you want to save the assignment that will be posted next week, you need to press the save button here. But if you are ready and you've already finalized it, you can click the assign button so that all of your students will be notified and they will receive your assignment. And now we are moving towards the end of our discussion. As a teacher, of course, you have to grade the work of your students, and it is still possible here in Microsoft Teams. Okay, so now we're on the tracking of students' progress. Wherein on the grades tab, we can see this kind of interface. On the top, these are the title of your assignment. These are arranged through different dates, ordered by the due date with the nearest date at the top. We can see here the date. On the left side are the names of the students. Now, what if you can see blank? What does it mean? Now, blank means no action has been taken on the assignment yet. How about viewed? It means the student has opened and viewed the assignment already. Now, what if it's turned in? Turned in means the student has turned in the assignment and work is ready to grade. Now, what if returned or points? It means when you've graded student work, the points assigned will show. Okay, see, like this one. And you'll see returned if the assignment doesn't have points or points are optional. Okay, so as a teacher, if you want to look at their work or you want to open their work, all you're gonna do on this part is that click the turned in, because that means they've already submitted. Once you click, now, as soon as your students turned in their assignments, you can click this option or more options and then choose open student work so that you can see their submitted assignment. After seeing the work of your students, you can be able to provide feedback here on this part, and you can also provide points here. So after giving that one, you can be able to click this button return so that the students or your students can also see their grade. Okay, congratulations, you are now ready to use the Microsoft Teams. To conclude our session for today, the biggest question is, why are technology skills so important to today's students? Developing these skills will allow you to feel more confident in using emerging technology, and you will become faster in finishing tasks. For example, having IT skills will allow you to save money and time. as you will be able to solve a technical issue independently. No need to hire an IT expert at a high hourly rate. Your ability to use a variety of computer programs is an important skill to put on your CV and in a future career. Not only does computer literacy help in applying for jobs, but it may also increase your salary as you are able to take on more responsibilities. Technology skills enable students to explore new subjects and deepen their understanding of difficult concepts. Through the use of technology, inside and outside the classroom, students can gain 21st century technical skills necessary for future occupations. Still, children learn more effectively with direction. Always remember, these skills are developed in an inspiring and supportive environment, which also teaches young people to develop balanced and healthy lifestyles. It has been said that technology is an effective tool that can make education more meaningful and engaging for teachers and students. With that, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learned something for today. And I hope that you're gonna appreciate all the Microsoft productivity tools and most especially the Microsoft Teams in teaching online classes effectively. And before I will end this session, I would like to give thanks to all the viewers, educators from Department of Education and private schools, and as well as thank you to Sir Edgar Manriquez, to my fellow educator for this opportunity, and most especially to Vibal Publishing Group for giving me a chance to make a difference. To everyone, may God bless us all.
There we have it. In behalf of the Ball Group Incorporated, I would like to thank our speaker for today for this indeed very eye-opening and insightful learning session. It is an honor to have you with us today, ma'am. And to all our Kavibal viewers, all thanks to you for your continuous patronage to all our daily learning session. Don't forget to register to get your e-certificate of participation. The link is in the caption of the webinar. We also encourage you to subscribe and watch on our official Vival Facebook and YouTube channel. Muli, maraming salamat at magandang araw sa ating lahat.